Yeah, that's a great way to start. He's coughing a little bit, but I'm doing mostly better. Okay, so I'm kind of finished one step of my playtest build, and from everyone I've heard, like they think the mechanics are, I think, pretty good on this micro level, right? So the idea of going through the world in um, opening doors, opening chests with Morse code. I think that's pretty good. I really like where that's at. But the thing that I'm now looking at is kind of building it longer term. I need to build out a macro loop, for the wider term of play, and then I need to also kind of implement some more systems that are going to help me long term. And one of those systems that I want to do is implementing this UI system that I bought a little while ago. Just because I think like my current UI is all right, but it's literally just boxes in text. I still need to get some UI icons. I don't think it says UI icons for the UI in that sense for like all my items and stuff. So I'll still have to get something for that, or I'll get my wife to make a bunch somehow. But the nice thing about this is it comes with some nice UI elements. It also comes with, I guess it forces me to implement the new UI system. No, not new UI, new input system, which I need to do eventually. I was planning to do eventually. It's just like this is kind of like the kick in the butt to do it. But also this has like localization in it, which is pretty cool. So that's what I'm gonna be doing starting today. We'll see if it takes more than one day. It probably will. But it might not, because it's supposedly a good package, and so maybe replacing all my screens with this will not be as hard. But we'll see. We'll see how this guy set it up and kind of implementing stuff. The reason why I started this stream for like 2 minutes and then decided to stop it for a bit is sure, I'll upgrade those. Is because I was committing. So I've committed to the depot. I have a backup in case all of this goes horribly wrong. So at least in that aspect, I'm safe. And so now I'm just gonna try and see where I get up to with all of this. So yeah, that's my spiel to the one person that's here. Okay. Just gotta wait for this little import. In hindsight, I probably could have just done this import after or before, but I don't know. I felt it was like thematic to click on the import with everyone here. But now you just gotta wait here with me and live that loading life. Is the loading bar actually close, or is it really gonna take a lot longer? Oh no, it just re up, but it came back around. Oh no, it's getting closer. Is it gonna loop around again, or is it actually almost done? These are the questions. Oh, now it's reloading domain. So it must mean it's close. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, gotta run a back end again. Okay, never mind. Script compilation though, so it seems like it's close, but now it's completing domain again. Okay. So this project is using the new input system, but the native platform backends for the new are not enabled in player settings. This means that no input from native devices will come through. Do you want to enable the backends? Doing so will restart the editor. Okay. I want to enable them. Okay, and now it's going to import. That's cool. Doggo. Chill. Okay. Oh, God. Oh. Wait, I haven't even clicked this part yet? And it's doing all these things? I guess I had to do the... dependencies. So that was all just loading dependencies. Oh, man. I haven't even imported the thing. Well, I also have to... where's this text thing? Should I change this to days since last sick? 0? Is that's now the more relevant item on the list, maybe? Well, we'll see. Okay, it is importing. It's just, you know, reloading from over here. Oof. How could you? I threw your face. I think you just let it drop. Where did it drop to? All the way over here. Wow, dude. Wow. Again? Oh, now you really buggered it. Underneath the table. How could you, doggo? Did you get it? You got it. Okay. And back up. There we go. Thank you, lady, for eating the biscuit. Let me know you're here. Doggo just failed twice in catching the treat, and it was kind of depressing. Huh. I guess we'll see how many, how my voice holds up throughout the whole thing. We'll see. Isn't watching loading bars fun? Doesn't that just make like peak content? It's just sitting here watching this little thing inch, not even maybe a pixel. I don't think it's even moved a pixel for a while. It's just sitting there while the dog will go barky bark. Borky bork. Borky 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 bork. Borky borky bork. Well, at least I can pet a doggo. So I'm importing the new UI stuff that I bought, but then to do that, it had to reopen the project with this new setup thing in the back end. I had a whole bunch of dependencies, and so it's done that. I'm now reopening this, and I'm gonna just see if things have exploded. Okay. I don't know why I have like any of these standard stuff. It's odd. I don't really care about any of these. I could probably just delete them, but I don't know why I have them in the first place. So, kind of scared to delete them. But I probably should at some point. I have a lot of things up here. So some things I could like Move the. Don't need the profile up there. Animator, sure. You can live down here, and then animation. Why not? Doggo. You're getting a bit much, dude. Should I have chosen Maddie instead of you? You're not just here for treats. You have to perform services of being cute. And this is your job. If you do not do that, you I mean, you are doing it, I guess. But you're only allowed so many treats per, time. So be nice. Okay, so now there's this like input setting package, I think. So I can create a settings asset. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I think that's probably fine. Again, I'm kind of diving into this. I don't really need the asset start here. Package manager. I just need to go out and find the reach one. And then import it. And now actually import it. Now that it's got all the things. Staring down the doggo. So he chills out a little bit. So I can pet him again. Patting, patting, patting. I thought I installed all the hook. Hopefully. Okay. Well, it seems like it's fine then. Okay. Lots of things. Go import. All right. I got trolled by the bar again. I thought it was close, but it was not. It was far, far away indeed. Very tragic. Very, very barky. Yes, I agree. I agree. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nope. I got. Oh, yeah. Is it actually here? Is the world here? Okay. So. I wonder what these are. What does default types mean? Oh, yeah, whatever. Okay, so it seems like it imported. There's no compiler errors, so that's always a good sign. Let's go see Reach UI, complete sci-fi UI. Let's go to their demo. I assume. Main menu, desktop. And then just. Ooh, I hope this play works. Might not. Kirby. No more barking. Settle down, dude. Like. Okay. So they have this. Press thank you to start. All these little options. Back. That's actually interesting. So they do have a shop in here. I'm wondering whether or not I need, if I use this type of shop or not. Because their system right here only has like one thing to buy, and it doesn't really. I don't know if it supports nicely having multiple things that I'm gonna have for the crafting. So I'll have to see how I can maybe adapt it. But like, I like the visuals of it. Like, it's definitely a lot cleaner than what other stuff is like. The setting screen obviously is a lot better than my old setting screen was. So. I wonder how much of this you can actually just like. Like, how much of this is actually hooked in already, or how much of this is a just faked? That's kind of what I want to know. Okay. Okay. More details doesn't actually do anything. That's kind of cool. How that button works. These actually work. Well, they actually do work. Interesting. Okay, I might join that off screen, but okay. So now the main stuff I want to deal with here. Now, how do I actually like start integrating here? All right, well, I'll get to doing that later. Right, yeah, because like all this looks good, but like, how do I make it my own? Is I guess the next question, right? So this is my old screen manager. Yeah. So I really should have. I thought I read like some stuff about getting started here and stuff, but I don't recall any of it right now. I assume, like, does this actually do anything? I assume this is just an image, right? Hmm. Okay. Lots of fonts, lots of editor stuff, but there's, well, editor scripts. There's the tools, Canvas HUD. I guess I just want to know, like, do they expect me to manually reach UI manager, right? Okay, so okay, 21. Splash screen. Is this the splash screen? Right, okay. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, like, yeah, I'm just gonna guess I'm a little lost here, but like, is like a I'm totally lost in this thing. It was not as the localization settings, I guess I could look at. So like they have show language accent. You have a key, and then you have the value, and then oh, even audio systems. Oh wow, that's cool. Okay. There's some options there. I mean, that's interesting. I don't know where to go with that still, but if I were like, which is the main manager? What's the panel manager? I look at first button. Oh, okay. So no, this is something with option panels. Okay. Maybe if I go back to main, what's the cross-platform visualization looks like? Just got changes. That's a lot of widgets. Menu manager. Okay. The localization manager in here. They have a graphics manager. You have the event system, which is normal. Controller manager. Okay. Is mapping some of that stuff. There's an audio manager. I assume handles a lot of the UI sounds. Okay. Okay. Alright, it just has a separate thing here. There's a background, which just has an image. Which I assume, if I were to look at that image, would just be... Is it... Or is it the static? No, it is that. That's funny. That my UI still actually shows up behind that. I'm pinged in here. Yeah. Okay. I'll get to that later. Okay. So then... and this is how they do the little, like, kind of moves around, right? So that's how they do that. And then they have main content and model windows. Okay, so the main content is all their main screens, basically. The splash screen which goes over top of it, and model windows. Yeah, so this is how they do layering. Assume. Shh. I have to send you back inside, Kirby. I'll give you one last chance with some treats. Watcha! 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 Be good. Okay. Okay, so they have some top panels too. Interesting. Ooh. Shadows. Okay. Just visual flair, I guess. It looks good, I guess. And there's the content. The logo. Menu list. Layout group fix. What does that do? Fix on enable, fix with delay. Rebuild it. Not a huge fan of the get correct calls, but okay. So I assume you can actually just do rect transform, right? So what is this? triggers a delay layout rebuild during layout patterns. The delayed rebuild automatically handles objects in the entire layout hierarchy in the correct order and prevents multiple recalculations of the same layout elements. However, for special layout calculation needs, for example, force rebuild layout immediate, using it to all layout subtree or immediately. Inside. Okay. On the single. Okay. That's a lot of stuff. All right. Hey. Yeah, I'm mostly feeling better. Um, yeah, bathroom tiles are surprisingly expensive, or just tiles in general. I remember that. Thanks for dropping in, saying hi. I'm mostly feeling better. I'm my me reading some of this is probably reminding me that I'm probably not quite there yet because I'm like, what is going on? Trying to integrate this UI stuff, so we'll see if I get there. See if I give up and try another day. I'm almost there on that. I mean, that seems pretty easy to implement, but there's a social widget, there's a news widget, there's hotkeys. I guess, yeah, you just put those on the bottom. That's fair enough. The menu list. Okay, and so the menu. So he has a button. Okay, so he has a button icon, enable text, button text. Yeah, hopefully it'll look good. When I get to it. I guess before you go as well, if you want to, feel free to share the build with those people that you were talking about, Karazest. I think it's good enough state for now. For I just want to get people with Morse code knowledge to tell me if it's good or not. So if you're still around, then let them know. All right, I will give the doggo some treats. I actually don't have that many left, so might be your last, doggo. Oh no, actually, there's a decent amount. I was lying. I'm just trying to go through all of these things and figure out what the heck I'm getting myself into. So there's a button manager. There's an icon that's on the enable, right? So that only shows up in here. And then the story mode, which I assume is the... Like, if I change this now, this doesn't do anything, right? Okay. Or maybe it's not runtime changeable. I don't know. It is interactable. Oh, maybe I had to like update UI. Okay. Right. Okay. So now it's changed. Okay. There's events, but I don't see anything hooked into there. Nor into this. There must be something somewhere that they hook that up, right? Resources, settings. Okay. Size is interactable. Yeah, I'm kind of curious then how does it know? How does it know that like I clicked on this? Right, like I guess it could be that like it doesn't show. Other things, but main content, splash screen, reach UI manager, init screen, reach UI manager. What does this thing look like? Yeah. Oh, I can enable it. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that's good to hear though that you're having good results with it. Yeah, because like I don't know if like if you're well practiced at like doing it really fast or like doing long strings, but just like that's kind of what I want to make sure that doesn't fail at higher expertise levels, right? Because I don't want like anyone that's like really good at Morse code coming at me later on and being like, "Hey, I actually know how to do Morse code, and your system doesn't understand me." That's the main thing that I worry about. I think my brain though is not going to understand this yet. I think I probably also need to like reach out in that Discord and probably like get a like where do I even start with this integration wise, because I don't want to just like modify their scene because their scene isn't going to work exactly what I want, and so I kind of just want to know from that level like what am I supposed to do, like if I want to start a UI from scratch using their system. That's probably what I need to figure out, because it's too much for me right now. I need like a baby to get onto, and I think that's much more difficult than I originally was thinking it was gonna be. It's probably not that difficult when I get into it, but you know, um, it's gonna take a little bit of mind shift, I think, for me, which I think right now my brain's not there. So, wow, you're just not doing it very good today. Anybody? You've got like 3 flicks in the face, like, or like you when you smacked it. Oh, poor buddy. Couldn't quite get up immediately. Okay. So if I'm not going to do that yet, I'll keep it integrated. I'm fairly sure that that's going to be okay. I just need to do it later. You know what I can do? I think it's within my brain level capacity right now to do this is oh yeah, that's definitely the goal of that, is that you can kind of see where what you messed up. Yeah. But yeah, what I was saying is I was gonna make some things for some of my little spawn tables, I think. Like all my level gen and all my scriptable objects that I made. All of those things are really annoying to kind of put around with, so I was gonna make this better. Like this thing. This thing gets really unwieldy really quickly. So what I want to do is change how this renders. So that starts with changing we're making a custom property drawer for it. That's something I think I can do right now. That's within my. This is not back into it. The doggo would just come down. Doggo, you need to be just loud for a look. Give it all the love and attention you ever could need. And then would you accept that you just could chill and be a good doggo? That's, earthy forever and ever. You need not to be how you go about your life. There we go. There's a good doggo. There's a good doggo. Nice and chill. Nice and chill, doggo. Instantly back up. Oh, I tried. It was worth a shot. Scripts editor. I'm gonna go create C# script, and I'm gonna call this spawn action property drawer. I don't have 3 hands. I am alive, Fox Hollow. Barely. I made it through. I mean, I'm doing all right. I still got a little bit of a stuffy nose. My mind's like half foggy. So, yeah. See you guys. Thanks for joining in. But yeah, I tried looking at integrating UI plugin that I was gonna do, and that's too much for me right now. So I'm gonna save that for another day, and I'm just gonna do some small things like making some UI editor things nicer looking. So that's what I'm gonna do. I know how to do those things. I don't have to think too hard about them. All it is just some simple relaying out of things depending on how things are going. So there we go. Now we got some do the battle of the corgis in corgi emotes. Just have all our corgi emotes and do the all of the yeah. Corgis are too cute. You can't have enough emotes of them though, right? Okay. I know I said this was easy, and then I need to now actually do it. So let's prove me right, okay? So right now I'm just gonna leave it as base on GUI. We're gonna go look at right there. So I need to go. It's actually not even spawn action, is it? It's if I go to generic spawn table. Oh no, it is spawn action. Although isn't it? It's spawn item, spawn weighted up. That's actually in the thing. If I look at my table, what is it called? Base table. Right, so this unwieldy mother effer. Okay, so I actually need to modify both of them. That's pretty fun. Okay, so custom property drawer for type of spawn action. Okay, so this is that's it. I don't need to type in a global. I can just do that. Okay, Mr. Doggo. Yeah, I might have to send him inside. He's getting a little barky bark. Spawn action property drawer, property drawer. Okay, and then I have to make another one of these. So I'm gonna just do it below because it'll be fine. Spawn action weighted item or something. What is it called? Spawn action weighted item. Spawn action weighted item. Okay. So those are defined and good. Okay. And now, basically, what I do is, so right now we have we have the weight and the min, and then we go through the value. Which I don't even want to do this value. I just want to skip that and go to all of these. So the first thing I can do is ignore that part of the display. So that would, the way you do that is, so this is the actual thing, the value, right? I'm looking here. This is drawing this value, and then this one is drawing the whole thing. And so what this guy needs to do is instead, I'm gonna go. So instead of base GUI, we can basically go boom. You can go. I always hate starting these things out. So there's this rect. There's a line rect basically set up. So this is kind of like, these things are, I guess, complex when you start out. But like this is like the whole position that you're drawing on. And so you have to make one of these that is not that. So you get position within, or you go new rect with position. Rect with position as a value. So you're not modifying the old position. And then get our position dot height, and then I equal it to, where's there's an editor GUI utility, I think. Line, label it, single line height. There we go. That's the guy I'm looking for. Okay. So now that we got that, I might even collapse that, and I can just go like this, and then run this. Like that, because we'll just basically be looking back and forth here for a while. Okay, and so then when I do the height there, no, I'm not changing position. I'm changing line rect dot height. Okay. And so the first one is weight, which is fine, I think. Yeah. So we go property. Yeah, we're going to property dot draw. Oh, no, nope, nope, nope. Woo! Editor. GUI dot property fieldo, and then we put in line rect, and we put in property dot get property relative or fine. It's fine property relative. There we go. And then we type in. Is it weight? How do I? It's probably weight. Let me just look at this again. Weight, yeah, weight and min count. That's how I spelled it. So you have to always make sure to spell it the same way as you typed it in there. Find relative property weight, and then I think that's it there. Then I can add a line there, and then I can go take line rec dot y plus equals this editor single line height, and then I go and I copy this and I go paste that, and then instead of height I type in min count. Okay, so I save that and I go over here and I recompile, and then just to see what that's going to show up like, it should basically erase all those lower things but to keep the other ones intact. Just going to verify that that works so far. Okay, it has not kept the heights. Okay. So I need to override that, I guess, as well. Override. Override. Get property height. So I guess that's no longer working, which is interesting because it should still. Well, it's actually not even showing. Assassin. It's not even showing the title, which I thought it would, but I guess it never does that anyways. Interesting. Okay. So for now, we'll just do easy way to do that. Let's go times 3. Try that for now, and then that up. I did not. Where's the Just lock this in for now. Right, so now we got those two. The next part is I should maybe always still do the label. So we'll, before we do these ones, we will go and type editor GUI. No, there's not a. not inspector typeable, but I just think the label field's fine. So then we're going to do line, height, rect, and then we're going to do label. And we're going to do the same thing here, where we kind of indented. Just decompiling here. Get it to update that. And hope that we're back to that point. Actually, what I kind of want to do, it seems like base line height is slightly smaller than I feel like it should be. Because those feel very cramped. Single line height. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, maybe it's fine, whatever. Yeah, so you have element 2, 1, 2, 3, okay. Now eventually I want to change that name probably, but for now it's okay. So now we'll continue on. So the next part is getting a serializable property for the value prop. And that's going to equal to property find property relative, and it's going to be equal to, I think, value. Just verify that. It's a new table. Value, yeah. And then I couldn't output without the name there, or I could. So I'm wondering how much I should put into this thing or not. Herbie, I love you, but your barking is getting a little much. And so I'm gonna have to send you inside, okay? I'm gonna give you some lots of scratches, say you goodbye, but I can't do it anymore. So up you go. Come on. Hopefully the wife was listening and will receive him. He's not sitting out in the cold for too long. But, yeah. Sad to see him go, but that barking was driving me a little insane, and I have little sanity left in my brain. So, yeah. That's what had to happen. Okay, and so what it's trying to figure out is technically this thing is allowed to draw the value, but I don't know if I want it to in this case because I kind of want them all to just draw along the line in that aspect. So I might go and do what we would go and say now the problem is well with that though. So the thing that I want to do is I only really want to draw things depending on the type that this thing is. And I may even want to display the type first, like then go weight, min count, and then like other things of its value. Because those might actually be more important. Or maybe not. Maybe the type is after weight and min count. But at the very least, yeah, I need to go to 4. So we'll go this one, and then I'll kind of figure out what I want to do after this. So I'm going to go... copy all this. Paste it. And then take from the value property, find relative. I need to figure out what is the... spawn flag? Is that it? Yeah, spawn flag. So it's just called spawn flag. Okay, so then refresh. Let me see what that looks like. Right, okay. So now we have chest, loot, enemy, and chest. Okay. That's not too bad. I guess all of these should be right. No, this should, instead of I forgot that's how it works. Okay, so this should actually be it's like a toggle left. And I think it's like comma the property. No, okay, so the value is the last one. Okay. So label comma property dot is expanded. And then you set that to be equal to this. Go refresh. Then I'll have to also indent this. Okay, no, that was not actually what I wanted to do. Is it drop down then? Like header? Or fold out? Okay, so this one is opposite, I guess. Label. Okay. And so then the whole idea there is that you say if um, property, is not expanded, then you just return. Because there's no point doing anything else. And then you same thing here. You go if property is expanded, turn just one line. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so yeah, now we have the whole fold out stuff working again. So that's nice. Again, they should be indenting, so I probably should do that next, which is just simply going line rect dot x plus equals and I'm just gonna see if they have editor GUI utility dot tab or indent. Because yeah, I don't think this will care about. Yes, let me quickly see if I can Google. Unity editor GUI indent size. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so Google says looks like you need to call in GUI indented rect position to get the indent you're looking for. Okay. All right. So what I can do then? Okay, so that's not actually too bad then. So all you have to do is go editor GUI dot indent level plus, and then at the end here we'll go minus, and then what we do is we simply set line rect to be equal to editor GUI dot get indented rect line rect, and then that should be now the proper positioning, supposedly. Let's see if it's actually the truth. It is sometimes the truth, and what we actually see is a very different thing. Yeah, seems to have worked. Cool. Okay. Okay. I might want to do here as well. Can I override? I can just say, I guess I could say new GUI content. And I'll just say type here instead. Because I think it's going to be easier to understand and it won't get cut off. It feels like though this one's more indented than it used to be. Like if I were to just not do this, right? To recompile. Yeah, it's closer. It's definitely closer. Interesting. Okay, so what I should maybe do, I wonder if I'm supposed to maybe do this. And there's totally more space between the lines there. The single line height is actually like a little bit of a lie. It seems like there's like a few more spaces between that. Which is kind of annoying. That'd be kind of cool to just use that as a reference, but I guess we'll make like a little private static read only float line height and it'll equal this plus like 4 or something. Plus 4. And then I'll just use line height instead. Bam. Bam. And then, wow. I should have gone Command F. Replace this one, replace this one, replace this one. And then don't replace that one. Replace that one. Okay. Cool. Alright. And then recompile. No, it's actually still off. Weird. And maybe I want to do maybe this height. I actually still want to do the. It looks a little weird otherwise. Yeah, everything's just a little bit bigger. So I think I don't want to do that one. Hmm. I wonder if I like. Let's see. It seems actually kind of pointless thing to do that there. I don't know. We'll see. Um, like a minus minus and then plus plus, it kind of evens it out there, and then you don't have to do it later. But see if that makes a difference. No. Okay. Not good is what that does. Spec Community is probably doing some little minor adjustments to make theirs look a little better. That's fine. I could just like take this and then go line rect. Dot left minus equals. Oh, it's read on me. Okay, dot is dot x minus equals. Should go like 10. Just to shuffle it a little bit over. I probably have to also go dot width plus equals to even it out. We'll see. Yeah, it's a little better. Probably could even go like 15 or something. Let's go 16. Okay. Now, before I go even further here, I'm just wondering whether or not this is the right way to do it. And whether or not I would actually want to make this look like more like a table, like an Excel spreadsheet. Because I could actually do that. I could actually make, there being a top line thing for this, and then and maybe sort a little bit better. Instead of this kind of like hodgepodge of like drop down menus that are kind of confusing and annoying to sort through. I could probably visualize them a lot better if it was like that. Now, the question, I guess, is do I want to do it left to right or hmm. So the way you'd have to do this though is you'd have to actually override how loop table draws spawned tables. I think. Actually, what even is spawn tables? Right, because this is a generic spawn table, I think, is what has this weighted items, right? So I'd have to override how I draw this. Because this thing in loot table would have a list of weighted items. And that's what's actually being drawn here. Okay, so if I went into something here, my music ended. I just want to go to. Oh no, I was listening to that one already. Let's just do this one again. It's got a little bit more beat to it, keeping me alert. I mean, I hadn't even got to this thing yet, but do I just draw another one? I make another thing. I might just make another thing for it. Why not? Okay. Like this. Should ideally be on the top, and then the other one should, the one that's right now on the top, should ideally actually be on the bottom. Because it's the lowest level of like things to draw. And so this should actually just be generic spawn table property drawer, right? And then so basically what I want to try to do is draw like a spreadsheet, right? And so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do, yeah, if it's expanded, I'm going to do that. And then if not, I'm going to do like, 20 at least. We'll just do 20 for now. And then, we will maybe 20 is too much, but we'll leave it at 20 for now. I just want to get it started. So all this stuff is probably good. In this case though, I don't. Oh, it's spawn tables, right? It'll come to spawn tables. So sure, let's get the index rect, do that, and then we're gonna go and line rect 0, single line height. All right, and so what I want to do is I want to draw like a length. So I'd want to divide it up into a small column for weight, a small column for min count, and then a very large section for the other stuff. Or do I do a very large section and then at the very end, maybe width and maybe I'll do that. So now we're going to do columns, right? So I'm going to make a rect this is going to be great fun. Okay. I'll probably have to make like a method that handles some of this. So rect, and I'll call it weight column. I should actually do min count column first, because that'll be the last one. Min count column, and this will equal what? It'll equal the last, I don't know, 20 units. Do I need for like an int field, a float field? That's probably fine. Yeah, so let's go. Or I guess line X, yeah. Rect, rect, and then we'll go min count column dot x will equal to line rect dot x max minus 30, and we'll go maybe we should make this a const while we're at it. Private const what am I doing? Private int float. I'll call this number field width. Give it a little exclamation there, and then equals. I think I said 30 is the value. Whoa, revolutionary. 30. Okay. So min count column dot x is setting to that, and then we're going to go set min count column dot width will equal to number field width. So basically, this is just setting it to the farthest right side, and then in that we're then also going to say I guess I should have a label field, right? So so yeah, so then you should have editor GUI dot label weight, and this will take in min count column. That's probably the other way around, isn't it? Alright, can I do the simplified? Alright, sure. Whatever. Okay. So then we do that, and then we'll also do wait, no, actually, so it's supposed to be it's supposed to be min count. And then this will be weight. Sorry, no capital. No caps for you. And then this actually should then take from min count. And all I need to do is set this to be equal to this. And that should just work. And then this one, we can just say that. And I just want to see what that looks like. See where we've gone. Narrow there. Why is it expecting me? Oh, okay, so now it's just expecting that this one should have another one. Okay. No. So they're both slammed up against it. Let's try 60. See what that does. Okay, let's try 100. Okay, so 100 is too much, but that's kind of interesting that they're still both moving together. Because weight column, main count column. Source is this, but then should set its max. I wonder if I still need this to some degree. I don't think I should. That's why I'm very confused. Oh, this should be min, that's why. X min. Okay. And then we have those two. No. The next step, do I just want to start drawing things first? I might. What I want to do is I go editor, scroll, editor, viewy dot scroll. Huh? Is it just viewy dot scroll? All right, scroll view. Okay, so what I do is using new viewy dot scroll view scope. And so what I'm basically going to take is position. I should just make a scroll rect. What am I doing here? Rect. Roll rect equals new rect. I'm going to take a position, and we're going to go position with some changes, and the changes we're going to make are that the y dot y will equal to position plus equals line height, and then plus line height. Position dot y. And then what else did I want to do? I wanted to I guess I have to take the height and go equals position dot y, or position dot height minus line height. Okay. And then we'll pass in scroll rect here. And this thing also needs a scroll position and a view rect. All right. Okay. So right, so the view rect would be how many items there are times line height, which is probably gettable. I just need to do a little bit of finagling. The other thing just needs to have a vector tool, scroll, pause for scroll position, and we will be setting it. Actually, we can't. We have to go like var scroll equals new scroll thing, and then we put in this, and then the view rect. Okay, so again, to get the view rect, we have to first get the weighted items property. So go serialize property weighted items list property equals property dot find relative, and so this one is weighted items, and then the rect rect for view rect is equal to a new rect. That's going to be the size of scroll rect, except for its height is going to be equal to line height times weighted items list property dot array size. Come. And then do that, and then do view rect. Whew. That's a lot of typing. Let's see if any of that like actually materializes. Well, I don't see any errors, so that's something. I might even just do new rect with the height in this and the width equal to scroll rect dot width. So that'll keep, I think, it a little bit simpler. And then, okay, so now we get to go through weighted items lists. And so what I'm going to do is we go weighted items list dot next visible true. So this should enter into the children and then now just be doing everything in the list. I guess if has visible, I should probably do that first. If as if weighted items positive dot as visible children, then we will do all of this. Otherwise, we're not going to bother because we don't have any children to display. So this next visible, in this case, will always be going to children, and then we will be iterating through them in here. So when we're going into this, we are in the first child. That sounds maybe a little weird, but bear with me. Okay. So, I just want to see if I go. I'm probably just going to end up drawing all of these in the one file. I think it might be easier. I might separate them into functions, but I think it's going to be a little bit cleaner. So basically, I want to draw both of these right now as the first step, just to visualize that I have the right system going on here. So I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be instead saying line rect. So this is going to be weight column, and this is going to be in count column. We're going to refresh that, and there's going to be a lot of them in there, but we should be seeing something there. No, that's what we're seeing. Interesting. Okay. Serialized properties, no. Which line is no? That. Okay. So what? Wait a second. Did I didn't change. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, so I'm gonna just make this a little bit bigger, just to make this a little easier. C, property. Alright, so now we've changed both of those. Command kabooey. Okay. Not break on this anymore. Recompile. Clear. Still throwing no. Yeah, after I put this recompile. Weird, okay. Spawn item. Weighted item. Oh, display name size. Right, okay. I always forget that. It doesn't really matter. I think this one should be false, but I don't think it really matters. Okay, that's where it's having issues. Yeah, recompile. Because yeah, the first property of every like an array list type thing is the size. Hopefully. This comes through the other side. Right, okay, so yeah. Have to make a few changes. Basically, I don't want it to display a GUI field, so then I'm gonna have to make an empty GUI field now. Just as a slight little optimization, I'm gonna go say GUI label, or GUI, no, it's GUI content empty equals new GUI content. Hopefully now it'll just display the value, not the label. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I might even want to make it so that minus another 4 or something here. So we just get a little bit more buffer. Want that sit there. I adjust this now. The next part. We just need to actually adjust all these columns, right? So weight column dot y plus equals, I think it is. I've always gone plus equals, right? Yeah. Line height. Oh, hey Red, thanks for the welcome back. I'm like 50% here, you know. Hey, I feel a little loopy at some points, but I'm doing editor code, so I mean, like, I'm well enough for that, I guess. Have you had a chance to try out the game? What do you mean? Okay, well, actually, wait. 1:40 p.m. is like the middle of the afternoon. It's like a normal time to be awake. So I don't understand. I don't understand your hours. But you know, if it works for you, it works for you. He should be increasing. And I should be getting more than one of these. Oh no, okay. That's why. Okay, so now I have to go while weighted items. And then we loop through this. I'm trying to basically make, I don't know if you've been watching for long, but I'm basically trying to convert Unity UI into like a spreadsheet where I get like all my values in a column and then I have like an overriding top thingy here. So we'll see how far I get. Haha. Values are showing. That's cool. No problem. Let's play with this some more. So, um, huh. And the only thing I'm now thinking about doing it horizontally versus the other way around, like vertically, is depending on what um, spawn table needs. There could be a lot more random things that I need to stuff in there, and it could be long. So maybe I want to have it go the other way around and have the value, the keywords here, and then have the table go this way. I'm thinking I actually do want that. So before I write this too much, I'm going to swap those things around, basically. So the way I would do that, field width, get this, and underscore spacing will just equal this and 4. So, I guess I should do that same there. But I'm going to actually erase those mostly in a second. So, the way I do that is I swap these things around. So, should do the same thing here. So, I should just. I guess I can just use the line height. And then I'll call this line height and spacing. Spacing. So, how do I want to do this? So I should rename this. It's not going to be a row. And it's going to be equal to. I'm going to actually, so in this case, I'm going to do width or weight first. Oh, awesome. Thanks for coming and testing it out. So I'm going to go line rect, and then I'm going to go width is going to equal, I guess, a number field width. And then the actual other things is fine. I'm going to go and take width, or weight, sorry, and then paste that there. And then I go and I take min count here. It's going to take weight column. It's going pretty much take all these things. It's going to be the y is going to go equal to oh, thanks, Fred.
R3D_Echo just subscribed.
That's pretty awesome of you. Thank you. You also know to get to bark, so, or bork. Sorry, I pronounced it wrong. I'm a little loopy, but you can bork. Enjoy your bork and other random emotes that I have. Actually, the one that I'm feeling right now is this. This is my brain. It is a pretty cool little feature, prime subbing. It's pretty neat. It's like a free little I like you, you know. Okay. So y in this case, y is going to equal to this thing dot y plus line height and spacing. I don't think it was COVID. It was just like a cold that the kid got, of course, because like when you're an adult, the only time you get sick is when your freaking kid gets sick. Like it's like before like Nestor, I was like not sick like for years. And then, you know, the kids happen and they make you sick all freaking time. But it's fine because they're wonderful and amazing. Okay. So I'm just completely changing this rect stuff. So I've changed the y's there, so now they should be on the other side. But then this also has to change. So this is, you know, it's x is number, field width, and spacing probably. Or and spacing. And then height is actually, that's fine. It should be the width. I just need to cut down a little bit. Width should now be just minus that. And then again, I just basically reverse these so that now the height is going to be scroll width dot height, and the line width is going to be the number, field, height, and spacing times that times the number of items. Okay, and then all I gotta change here is this and this and then this and this, and then let's see what we got. This just works, flips it nicely. It will be yeah, that is very true. I mean, it's kind of like these evolution kind of figured some things out, right? Because yeah, otherwise they're a lot of work. They're a lot of work, but they're worth it. They're a lot of work, especially when they're under like 3. I mean, I'm sure other people will complain about other rages, but like they just need all the attention under 3. I feel. This entire time, my kid has been sick. All he wants to do is just be held, which is not great when I'm almost so sick and kind of tired. And so, definitely makes it harder. Okay, so now at least this is mostly working. The first one's a little cut off. I'm wondering why that is. I wonder if I need to like start it a little bit. Scroll rect is X is there, right? So what if I just give it a little extra padding, like 8, and then plus 8. We'll make sure that these are actually fine there. See what that looks like. Nope. Okay, so it's actually more to do with. Yeah, I think it's more to do with the starting position. So your weight column. Maybe I should go. And then go weight column equals editor GUI dot indented right. So if I do that and I go weight column, and then I do the same thing with min count row, does that fix this issue? Let's see. No. Well, it seems like they just need to be indented a little bit more. Which before they were. Oh yeah, that's why they were pushed in a little bit. So I just need to go and probably set them back to 0. That's probably what the problem is. So we'll just .x equals 0. And then just remove the rest of this line. I don't think that part does anything. .x equals 0. And then go recompile. There we go. Okay. Okay. So. Now, basically just need to do the rest of the fields. One by one. This is definitely not pretty of a script. That's kind of how it's got to go, I guess. So I got a field here, and then I go value equals new weight column.
I know this is going to be like type, right? And then I'll go maybe count row. Type. And then so yeah, I should put right type row, and then it will, because I'll eventually go dot and do this. I'm gonna need to do type row dot x equals 0. There's still going to be a problem with like displaying the various options below, but I'll see if I can kind of reconcile that a little bit in some way. So type row x equals the number thing, and then I'm going to be, at this point, I need to go first and get the value field. So serializable property value property equals this. It's not quite, I still need to change this to value. And then I will then do this. With type row positioning, and then type property find relative, and this is spawn flag is what it's actually called under the hood. Save that. Right, so now they have that. Oh, actually, okay, so this one didn't use the right thing there, but with that changed, that should line up there. Okay. So now comes the more annoying part, because obviously once I get the type, there's different values that all would matter only for that type, right? So if it's an enemy, enemy to spawn matters. If it's an item, item data matters. If it's a chest, chest data matters. Chest to spawned honestly feels like something that I should not be putting in here. That should be probably something that I can make a poolable item or something and use that way or something. So I'm gonna pin that for now. But basically, yeah, and then there's item count, which really only works for items. But I can just pin that as a count below, right? So then this is data, and the rest is other stuff. Now only other caveat is that these two things are drag and droppable. Chest data is not, right? It's an actual like serializable thing, which I wonder if because of that I want to make that not, if I want to make this like a scriptable object, because then I can drag and drop it in there and then it'll be nice that way, I guess. I mean, it's still not amazing because you can't like see, I guess, whatever that is, but I also probably want to change this to be a spawn table. Oh, so many things that I'm gonna have to change here. But yeah, I could basically just at least specify this down to enemy. Yeah, I could at least, yeah, spec this down to like data and take these three things and kind of switch them depending on what's the required thing. And then, yeah, we need to change chest data though into a scriptable object to do that nicely, at least. I think I should also just move the mana for chest to spawn and make that a poolable object or something I can get from, or maybe I could put it in chest data if I make that a scriptable object. It's kind of silly when you're having something as debug options, but like that's fine. So yeah, I was just thinking as well, there's ways of like opening up these things as like mini inspectors inside the GUI, so I can make like a button on some of these things so that I can actually look at them, which is only going to really be valuable in the chest data, but I think that'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. So if I'm going to make chest data a scriptable object, there's a few things that are going to break if I just do that, and I want to make sure that before I break them, I kind of have something set up to handle that. So let's go to player base. Let's go to room. Let's go look at these chests. Let's think about that for a moment. So these guys, right? 8 and 2 is the defaults for now. And then they have the items inside and items stacked down. Yeah, I'm just trying to contemplate whether I need to have this have a loot table as well inside it. Because the reason why I would want to do that is so that I would not have to make like a bazillion different ones with the exact same difficulties, but like which is a different item each time. It would be much better if I could just have a loot table and then have one difficulty, and then you know, pull from that loot table. All right, okay. Sweet, actually, fade back. Okay, so one, it took me a few seconds to figure out the terminal in the first room and use the right clicks to get the box to open. Open from quite far away after I keyed the right code. Yeah, no, so the shrill is actually on purpose. That you keyed in the wrong thing. Although I think probably not wrong, I guess, in like maybe thinking that it would be a D. But you have to listen to the spacing between the beeps. The high-pitched thrill definitely is intended. It took me a few seconds to figure out the terminal in the first room and use the right clicks to get the box open. So you don't use right clicks to open the box. So it's do, dit. It's not do, dit. It's do, dit. Which is significantly different. But I can kind of see why you know, this is like the first chest you're getting. Why it might doing that might be too much. But the opposite happened where I only did one letter and people didn't know if where the gaps were. So that's why I went with this one instead. I don't know if you figured it out or not, but for my hinting. Yeah. So there's only one, yeah, obviously, so then it's E. So it is doing a da and then a dit, but it's da dit, not da dit. You get what I mean? It's trying to teach you a small thing. Yeah. That is fair feedback, though. I'll have to... I'll have to see if that is common against other people trying it out. Because basically, yeah, it's like I need to either teach the player that there can obviously be more than one letter at some point. And the first time I did it, I just had T as a letter. And the problem is that because it's just da, and then a space, and then da, it's kind of hard to tell any sort of uh, relative differences, right? So it could actually be M, which is 2 dashes, right? But it could be any other, like S with 3 dashes, because you don't know when the actual space is, because you haven't listened to these things enough, right? So that's why I went with da, dit, dit, um, as a space between them. So you should actually hear all of the different variables, right? So there's the da, there's a space between letters, there's a dit, dit, and then there's a space between the whole code. So that should be all of the kind of spacing values. But always a possibility. Also, just to loop back to the second one for the second door, that's fine for now. I right now the logic works where whatever the closest door is that you did the code to, that's the door that like listens to your code. So like if as long as like it's the closest door that has an I requirement and you do I, it does that. And so that's why it works. But for this one, so yeah, it sounded like the 2 letters codes are really close together, but being a first attempt, it was easy to discern that that's how long I should wait until I should treat the latter. Yeah. Yeah, and that's for now. That's fine with me. With the doors. Uh, it's basically it's if you do an M and it's the closest door to you, that's going to be the one that's activated. Eventually, I might think of some like limiter, but like I kind of want it to be an ability that you can like look at from the opposite side of the room and like beep beep and like open that door from the opposite side of the room. Uh, but it has come back. Strangely, there's a lot of feedback about people being kind of like surprised by that, and so there's seemingly an expectation that you actually have to be close to the door before you can press the code. And I still have to figure out like what that. No, you're misunderstanding. It's the closest door of the code you put in, right? So right now you're in a room that only has 2 doors with codes, but if there was like in other rooms lower down, you'll have rooms that have 2 doors with M in them, and so whichever one's closest will open, um, but not all of them. I actually kind of reconsidering whether or not I want to even do the closest. Um, it actually might be worse if like there's a situation where like literally all the doors open whenever you type that in, but then that might also take away from the early game where I want you to repeat all these letters, and if you only have to put in each letter once, then it kind of opens all the doors. So maybe that doesn't. Yeah, I don't like that as much. Yeah, and that's totally fair that you didn't expect it. And it actually is. I've heard it a few times now from people. So I'm just kind of wondering whether or not that's like if that intuition is like something that makes people feel like it's wrong or like buggy, or if that's something like they'll like, oh, that's kind of odd, but then like once they get used to it, that's kind of like how it works, right? So that's kind of something I have to feel out a little bit longer, because I think like it works out to your advantage most of the time, as a player. You just need to know what the closest door is when you're doing code. So hopefully that works. Yeah, where was it with just data? Okay, so it was this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't need to be contextual on that. Because otherwise, like, you get like a staring at check this door and like does it match the code and then it would fail or something like that. I guess if I really wanted to punish the people for like doing that, but then I'd also have to very well do like looking at checks, which like say you're looking at it, but then like something jump scares you right as you put in the code and you looked away and then your drawer doesn't open, like it feels wrong at the same time, right? So yeah, that's why I just chose the closest door and that has the code. That's the one that opens. Beats per second, times between repeats, override code. Okay. Yeah, I can always change this part later, but yeah, I'm gonna first write a public chest chest to spawn. This won't matter for these guys, but it will matter for everyone else. That's what I'm gonna now reference in generic spawn table. Instead of this, it'll be chest data dot chest to spawn. Yeah. I can imagine, yeah, it's just blackness, right? Kind of amazing just how like much just darkness and then like that like kind of like eerie music that I have in the game can like make the game just feel scary, even if you never even meet the monster. Which has definitely horrified another few people too. But even without that, like it's, it's kind of funny. But easily you can get like in that terrifying mode. Yeah, that's fair. Like if you're coming into it like you don't know, like literally for you any door could have something behind it, right? Whereas like I have a generalized idea of like when the monster is gonna be there. Even though like for like the procedural levels, like I don't know exactly, but for me, I've gotten there's some telltale signs that the monster's in a room. Once you get used to it, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna go in that room. Which is why later on I'm gonna modify that monster so that he's even worse and scarier, and breaks doors, and chases you through the doors. And yeah, but he doesn't do that yet. So then TI chest. Okay. So again, it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna have to do all this stuff. And so then in chest data, I just want to finish this stuff up. So I'm gonna need the create asset menu thing here, and it's gonna be instead it's gonna be a scriptable object, and it's gonna go create asset menu. Yeah, it's better memorize all the ones you've been using. Because it's also it's most likely that you're gonna open the door, you're gonna see the monster, and then you're gonna have to instantly close that same door that you just opened. That's gonna be the test that you're gonna have. So look forward to that. What's another data piece that I have? Before I go and recompile here. There is actually like an upgrade that I have. Like the only upgrade that I've actually integrated into the game so far is so that um yeah, just saw that the first but is you can buy a permission which like makes it so that each time you open a door, it like saves that door as a quick slot that you can do. And so if you open the door, you could just press one, and it would like do that door again. So you wouldn't have to enter in the code again. Um, but you have to buy it first before you get that. You don't get it immediately. But yeah, I would save you from that kind of. You got to get like I think it might be 10 of each wires and scrap for the first one. Um, so it's not that bad. You just go back to the table, the main level. Base table is what I'm looking for. So table. I'll just go to debug to look at this. Weighted items. Okay. Chest data. Which ones are the chest skin? Chest data. Okay, so 8. Oh, they still have 3. Okay, so I have to change them to 2. But the wire, yeah, it's just wires and that. So they don't do an override code. Right? No, they're defined by the difficulty. Okay, so that should be fine. Interesting. I might even put those into the difficulty values. Which would simplify things definitely. Yeah, that's like a consequence of the nearest door phenomenon, right? Like it just kind of opens up, whatever door is closest with that code. Which is probably why I might want to make like some sort of limit to it, like whether or not you can actually reach the current door or something like that. But I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, actually, the lore-wise is that like you're sending a code up to like a hub thing, and then they're actually opening the door, based on the code you sent. Um, that's kind of like my explanation of it. So they don't actually know exactly where you are. They kind of just know you like you know your approximate position. So that's why they're just like, oh, code. Okay, open door. Okay, so I think I'm okay now doing this. I just need to. These would be in like configs because they would just drag and drop them. Okay, good. So right click though. If I go create, I have loot item data, loot table, item data, save data. reach you. I'll just go chest data. What is it? Let's go to what is it? An item data, which is like junk data, right? Create asset menu here. New chest data. Chest data. Okay. That's what we're doing. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, so let's recompile. Well, yeah, I mean, so I don't know if I would want to do like to use them going back and up and down. There's still a mechanic that I have to do, which is like this, what I'm calling the stress mechanic. And the idea there is that like while you're out and about in the world, so I just need to write this and then I will get back to that point. Chest 1, duplicate tutorial chest 2, duplicate basic scrap chest, and then basic wire chest. Thanks about the flashlight mechanic. So the stress mechanic though is the idea that as you're kind of exploring, you accumulate this stress, and like a meter builds up, and then if you ever get too high on that, then there's a monster that starts appearing, and it'll appear more frequently the higher you build it, and it also becomes more dangerous the higher you build it up. So it's something you definitely do not want to get too high in that way, right? The other ones don't matter. I can go back to configs. And so the way you remove that is you kind of go back to the base and you'll use some items like food or like relaxation items or something to kind of lower down your stress. And that kind of makes it so you have to go back every once in a while, and you can't go like just straight down. But then to counteract that, because obviously you would then have a limit of like how far you could go in one run, I'm eventually going to have portals that are like every, like, for example, 5 levels or so. There's like a portal that you can then open that then directly links you back up to the base or whatever it's called. And with that, then you can just use that to get down quicker. You still obviously have to second, is this wires? Okay. You know, still continue down and do whatever you're doing there. So that's kind of the way I've set it up in my mind, at least. Okay, so tutorial chest 1 is going to be E is the code, and then this one is going to be TI is the code. And then I need to go to this and then check. So this is actually chest 1. So this one, I want to use tutorial chest 1. And then the other chest, I want to use tutorial chest 2. Okay. And now those are linked, and then I will have to go to base table. Again, look in the debug view to just find the chests, and then so chest, and go to configs, and then just lock this for a second, and then I'm going to drag this one scrap chest for one of them, and then wire chest for the other one, and then that's set up there. Okay, so there's another quirky situation. So I'm in a corridor with 2 A doors. One was opened and the other was closed. When I did the A code, the open door closed and the closed door remained shut. Yeah, so that's again like you're just slightly closer to that door than the other one. Because obviously you may want to be closing that door, right? That's a valid thought, like a valid thing to do. So it's kind of tough. It's a really annoying thing because it's like more commonly going to happen in the earlier levels. Are you right in front of the shut one? Or further away from the opening? Yeah, I mean, okay, that's a little weird. I'll have to verify that. I mean, the logic should be that it's of the closest one always, but I can give that a test. I mean, it'll definitely be something I look into. Yeah. Yeah, if you could just verify it, if like it's actually happening consistently, because it should always be the closest. Like that's pretty specific logic I have there for specifically to find the closest door to the player. For that one situation. Just okay. So then what I want to do is see if I can finish off this drawing thing. So then I want to have a data field. Data row equals data, and then okay, so yeah, another one has a space. Okay, and so this is definitely where it's going to get a little silly-ish, but Hmm. Okay. I will definitely look into that for those type of situations. It's, like I was saying, it's tough because like for the first few levels, that's gonna the reproducibility of certain letters is gonna happen a lot more. Um, but like lower levels, it's not gonna be as much of an issue. Um, why do you think something? Just let me know your thoughts on why it's happening. Might be useful. Um, okay, so this, I need to actually get this property. If I'm moving around and I did the code and I finished the code while moving. Yeah. Yeah, so that's probably just like because you're kind of from the position, yeah, it thinks you're at, basically. Maybe there's some way I can like make it so that like letters are a little bit better dispersed, but it's not easy. But that might be a solution long term if it's really annoying. Yeah, yeah, so it's definitely going to be, those are like the worst case scenarios, right? It'd be better if we could like swap it with another letter or something if it's too close to another door of the same value. That might be one way of doing it. But it's something I have to figure out how I detect that and how I do it nicely. Okay, so can I go type property dot enum value index? Okay, so if I do this, cast as spawn, what is this freaking thing called? Spawn flag, but it's in generic spawn table, generic spawn table dot spawn flag. Not really in an array. I think it's like each door like comes up and asks a manager like, "Hey, give me a code." It's even kind of worse because like each door could actually hypothetically ask for a different pattern, right? So I have different like if it's like a star, it can be any of the easy letters. If it's a ampersand, I think it could be any of these like medium level difficulty characters, and I can have different character variations like that. And so it's basically just asking this generalized manager for it. Now I could like cache all those requests, and then like once all the requests have come in, then I like distribute them out in like a way that's more pattern based on like the positions. But yeah, it's just like a time, like it's this thing's gonna take a little bit more time than I want to spend right now on it. But because especially it's like it's only going to be an issue for the first few levels, because once you get to the next few levels, you'll have more letters, so you have more play around with, and as soon as you get to 2 letters per door, that issue basically is gone, because like it's pretty much never going to happen that you're going to have the same letters next to each other. Yeah, so like I can ensure that there's no duplicate at later levels. I can't ensure there's no duplicates at all, but obviously duplicates in a proximity would be something that I could try to like mitigate at least. Okay, now I wanna do, is it like this that I do? Or is it, no, you do run a type switch. There's this like fancy new switch thing. Embassy cases. This, yeah, well, so proximity is the only viable solution for now. Because every other one, like for the first few levels, it's I don't have enough letters to go through all the doors, right? So like the easy letters are only E, T, I, M, N, and A, right? There's only 6 letters. Yeah, the drops don't respawn. No. Although sometimes it is really easy to miss something in the dark, right? Like, especially if it's just like an item on the ground. I've walked past things all the time. Okay. So I just want to quickly get this last part in, and then I should be probably calling it because it's getting later. So loot, basically what I'm going to be doing is, but I'm going to be taking value property dot find relative, and the property for this one for loot is called item data, I believe. Okay, can I go? Let's just go away. Let's go spawn here. Let's just check. Item data. Yeah. Okay. So it'll find that property and draw it. Okay. And then what I don't want to be type row, I want to be data row. And then for the enemy, I think it's called enemy to spawn. Yeah, just copy and paste that. And then again, just copy this whole line. Obstacle, I don't even have those in yet, so we'll deal with those later. And then we will grab the chest data. I can delete that, but don't need it anymore. And then ingest data, we do this. Okay, recompile. You want it to be compiling. I want to add one more line, which is the count row. Takes the data type and then count row, count, count. Why is data? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. And then I gotta be doing this. Okay. And then see if that recompiles nicely while I'm doing this. Row data row dot x 0, and then count row dot x equals 0, and then I'm gonna go count row dot x equal this equals the number field spacing. Those do not seem to increment the same. Spacing amounts. That's. Oh, it's probably because they had the zeros there before, which they shouldn't now. If I recompile. And then the last thing I need to do is loot. Just do the item count. So look at this, paste this here, take count row, and then item count, and paste it in here. Save, and then alright, okay, so there's 2, 3. 2, 3. And these don't have anything because they're set up like that. And then I'm gonna look at this if I want to be looking at something else. Yeah, okay. I think that gets a decent way there. It's not perfect, but it's like, I think being able to view things on this way, I can see all the items so much easier than I could see anything else before. So just on that front, I think it's there. You know, it'd be creepy, a monster that silently follows you. Yeah, I mean that's the the stress monster that I was talking about. Is that he's gonna like creep up on you once you get stressed. I guess he doesn't maybe silently follow you. He's probably gonna like make some noises behind you, like to announce his presence, and you gotta like GTFO when he's gonna like coming in after you. But yeah, that's kind of like what he's gonna be doing. He's gonna be showing up behind you, and then I still have to brainstorm a lot of other monsters because obviously just there's gonna be more than just 2. So there is gonna be that. But But yeah, I'm probably gonna just sign off. I'm too exhausted to do a raid, so I'm not gonna do that tonight. But I did want to thank everyone for coming in and joining. Thanks, Fred, for all the feedback. If you have any more, obviously just shoot in the Discord. Would love to hear anything more. And I should be back on tomorrow at the it's like the 12:30 PST time. So like stupid early in the morning for you, Red. Which I know you like to just show up in anyways. But you know, if you do show up, that's great. Otherwise, I hope you're getting some sleep. But yeah, for the rest of you, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys.